set the shanty up here.
Very good afternoon to all you watching this at home. Larry here, finally set up in the shanty. That was rather difficult to get everything set up there on my own. The wind picked up like crazy. I don't know, that's kind of the story of 2025 so far, is that the wind has been absolutely howling each and every time it seems like I find myself on the ice. But it is just about 5:30 here. I'm on one of my favorite inland bodies of water. Filmed here actually pretty recently. The mission today is we're going to target some black crappie. I know a lot of you down south, and some people are really traditional about it. They say crappie, but being as though I am a Yankee, I am from the north, I say crappie. And right when I got here, actually, that was a bit windy, but we did pull one out right off the bat. They're going to be 8 inches to keep. You can keep 25 per person per day. I'm probably not going to come close to catching that many. Not even think I'd want to keep that many anyways. But hopefully, if my shack doesn't completely cave in here, I can probably manage, I don't know, 8 or 10, and then we're going to head back to the restaurant tonight and do another little catch and cook. It's already into March. We only have a couple more weeks left of fishing here on the hardwater. So we got to make the most of these opportunities when we can, even if it seems like it's a hurricane outside, which it absolutely feels like right now. But we got cameras rolling here, we got cameras rolling off top, I got one on my chest as well. So it might not be all that pretty here in the shanty, but if we do get into some fish, we're going to get every angle covered, so stay tuned.
Doesn't feel like a crappie. Ooh, it is a crappie. Alright. As soon as I turn the green light on. Who would have thought? Is this going to go 8 inches? I should have brought a measuring tape. On there, right?
It's a keeper. Right on.
That's a better mark. Come on. Oh, it's a big mark. Come on. This feels like a crappie. Come on now. Nope.
It's just a big bluegill. Not really huge, but don't you do it. There's another crab. All right. Not bad.
Ooh, that's a good one. Feels like a good one. It absolutely is. Come on, baby.
Alright, I'm thinking this is going to be a wrap on the fishing portion here. What a night. Look at all these fish right here. I managed to put 27 crappie on the ice. We're just going to keep 10. That's more than enough. They got to be 8 inches to keep. You can keep 25 per person. I don't feel like, A, cutting up 25 fish, but B, 10 is going to be more than enough for the little catch and cook I want to do here. Like I said before, we're going to head back into Burlington, back into the not-so-friendly confines of downtown Burlington. We're going to do a little catch and cook. I want to kind of just give you a spin around the shanty here. This is what I've been dealing with all day. I got 2 holes right here. One's been for the green light, one's been for the flasher. Been fishing out of this one right here. This table I bring everywhere with me that I go on the ice. I got a power block right here that's charging up some cameras, some extra batteries. That's my light rig. That's a very cheap lamp. I think it was probably bought at Walmart or something like that years ago. But other than that, we got the tripod over here. rod locker down here. Even though I'm out here by myself, it does still feel pretty cramped with all this gear that I have out here. Want to give a huge shout out to my buddy Lorenzo Labruciano. I know what you're probably thinking. There's no way that's a real name. That sounds way too Italian and made up. But believe it or not, he is a real person. He is a very good fisherman. He was supposed to be with me tonight. He bailed. Already have my qualms about that, but he did feel bad. He did drop a pin on exactly where he was catching these crappie just a couple of weeks ago. And boy, did it pay off. So thank you, Lorenzo. You better not bail on me again this weekend. We're going to get out and film some content together. But right now, I'm going to start packing this up. It's not that late. It's only like 7:15, 7:30. We're going to get these fish cut up, and then we're going to head back to the restaurant in downtown Burlington to do a little catch and cook. But obviously, if you are enjoying what you're watching so far and you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing to Woods North. Rapidly approaching 4,000 subscribers. And I'm going to be turning on the gas here to crank up the ice fishing content as this season winds down. It's beginning of March. We may have 3 or 4 more weeks of this if we're lucky. So, love to have you all along for the ride for that. But right now, I'm going to start breaking down. I'll see you back in Burlington. This evening just keeps on rolling, everybody. Welcome back to a rather familiar place. I'm behind the line here of my family's restaurant that we've owned for now 46 years on the top block of Church Street, right here in the heart of downtown Baghdad. Sorry, I keep making that mistake. Burlington, Vermont, not Baghdad. I guess it just kind of feels like Baghdad a lot nowadays. And if you live here or if you've been here recently, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's kind of the Portland of the East Coast nowadays. But that doesn't matter because we are chugging right along. I gotta say too, I'm getting pretty damn good at cleaning fish on the tailgate of my truck in the dark, especially with a dull Bubba blade, but that is exactly what I did just now, and everything came out spectacular. So there's 10 crappie of the 27 that I caught tonight. The ones that we kept, been cut up, they are ready to rock here. I have 20 boneless fillets. I'm not gonna cook all of them up tonight. Some of them are gonna get sealed up and sent back to the apartment, put in the freezer. But tonight I'm gonna whip these crappie fillets up in a way that I've never done on the channel before. Cannot say that this idea was 100% my own. I gotta give credit where credit is due. There was a video that came out last year in the fall that I watched from Fly Lords. I'm sure you know who Fly Lords is. Rather large fly fishing publication. Big presence here on YouTube as well as Instagram. But they had a series called Flavor on the Fly that I really enjoyed. And it was a short series, but they actually kicked off, they debuted the series right here in Vermont. And the host was a chef. Him and a fly fishing guide around here got into some yellow perch, and then they did a catch and cook with those perch. And like I said before, he's Sri Lankan, so he made like this kind of Sri Lankan in style calamari, but with perch. And when I saw that, I was like, oh my god! Like, I've cooked calamari in this restaurant as well as the one that we own next door. I'm not kidding, thousands and thousands of times in my life. And so that got me thinking, what if I could make some calamari, but kind of Americanize it, right? And do it in the way that I've done it so many times in my life. So that is exactly what we are going to do tonight. First things first, we gotta give a warm welcome to my Hamilton Beach Double Bay Tabletop Deep Fryer. Has not made a channel appearance since the fall of 2023, since I cooked up some Nashville hot squirrel. And by the way, that video is awesome. You should go watch that video after this one's done. Don't you dare click off this video because we got some cooking to do tonight. First things first, we're gonna get this thing filled up with oil. It's gonna take probably 10 or 11 minutes to get this thing up to temperature. I have it as high as it could possibly go, which is 375 degrees Fahrenheit. While that oil is getting hot, we gotta do 2 things. The first we're gonna do is get the fish ready. The second, we're gonna make a sauce to go with our calamari. When I make calamari, I like to keep it as simple as I possibly can. So here are those boneless crappie fillets. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take these off this plate here. We're gonna put them into a quart container, and then we're gonna use this. This is just regular old buttermilk you can get from pretty much every store, any grocery store, any supermarket, anything like that. We're gonna take that buttermilk and completely submerge those crappie fillets in this quart container. We're gonna make sure all these fillets are nice and coated. Cover that up and just let it chill. It doesn't need to marinate. It doesn't need to hang out overnight in the fridge or anything like that. It just needs to hang out, and those fillets are gonna watch me cook and get the rest of this meal prepared. The dredge, the part of the calamari that's actually gonna fry, turn crispy, and get golden brown in the fryer, I like to keep it super simple as well. We're just gonna use all-purpose flour as well as Old Bay seasoning. And if you've been down to Maryland or anywhere kind of near the Chesapeake Bay area, they love Old Bay down there. It's really good on pretty much everything. It's really good on seafood, crabs, chicken, anything like that. It's very versatile. But that is as simple as it gets when it comes to frying fish, right? So there's just 3 ingredients after the crappie. There's buttermilk, there's Old Bay seasoning and flour. That's it. For the sauce, there's gonna be a few more ingredients, but it is also gonna be extremely simple as well. We're gonna make a remoulade. And I know that sounds like a fancy word, remoulade, but it is a rather not fancy sauce. There's not really a set recipe on how to make this either, but when I make it, as I've already said before, I like to keep it super, super simple. So we're gonna start with just a good blast of mayonnaise here, and then we're gonna chop up some capers, some fresh gherkin dill pickles, as well as some chives. We're gonna throw that right in the bowl. Gonna give a pretty healthy blast of Dijon mustard. That is store brand Dijon mustard, people. We are balling on a budget, but that's totally fine. I'm gonna add some lemon juice, just a touch of sriracha for some color and a little bit of heat, and then just a little bit of garlic powder. And that is my remoulade. We're gonna mix this up with a spoon, get everything nice and distributed all throughout the bowl, and it is as easy as that. That is how simple this meal is going to be. The oil is now hot. It is time to drop these fish into the fryer. So we're gonna take those crappie fillets right out of the buttermilk and we're gonna put them right into this dredge, and I'm gonna take my time to make sure that each piece of fish is really, really coated and really not showing any sorts of raw fish or buttermilk poking through. I want these fish to be completely coated in that dredge so we get a nice, good crisp, and these fish are gonna cook correctly in the oil. When I drop any like breaded meat in a fryer, whether it's chicken or fish, I like to put the basket into the oil first and then drop whatever I'm cooking just right into the oil instead of dropping it into the basket and then lowering the basket. I find that a lot of the times whatever I'm cooking will stick to the basket. It kind of rubs the breading off while you're cooking it. So if you just drop the oil, like just drop the meat, like in this case the fish, right into the oil, it'll really help with that. But now that it's in there, we're gonna let it sizzle, we're gonna let it pop, we're gonna let it cook. It's really only gonna take like 5 or 6 minutes. These aren't huge pieces of fish, and this is ripping hot oil. You're gonna know when these start to be finished because they're gonna start looking GBD, that is golden brown delicious. And like I said, 5 or 6 minutes, these are gonna be done. But about 30 seconds before that happens, we're gonna add these hot sweet peppers or chili peppers, whatever these are. I usually like to use like peppadews or banana peppers. I didn't have any of those. Couldn't find them at Market 32 on my way back into town. But these are gonna work totally fine. And like I said, just let them rip right into the oil with the fish for like, I don't know, like 30 or 45 seconds. They really don't need all that long. And then once that happens, once you're ready to kind of plate everything up here and ready to chow down, I'm gonna pull those baskets out. They're gonna just hang out here and let the oil drip off them for a few minutes. While that's going on, I'm gonna cut up some fresh Italian parsley, and that's gonna get mixed in with everything here at the end. So in a big bowl, we're gonna take those calamari pieces, the crappie calamari, crappamari, crappie. I'm open to name suggestions. Please let me know in the comments down below. We're gonna add those peppers as well, a little bit of salt, and then as well as that parsley we just cut up, mix everything together here, and then we're gonna plate it up. I have this large oval plate. That remoulade has been also put into a small ceramic ramekin, and it is ready to be consumed here. So we're gonna get it all plated up just like this. The last thing I'm gonna use here is just a little bit of balsamic reduction. This stuff, it's basically if you took balsamic vinegar and boiled it down into a syrup. It's really good. It's a cool garnish, and it tastes really good with calamari. So I've done it thousands of times over the years here at the restaurant. Throw a little slab of lemon on there, and come on, that looks pretty good, right? It looks just like calamari you get at a restaurant. I bet I could fool you into thinking that's not crappie, right? That wasn't a fish that I pulled out of a pond not that long ago tonight in the deep dark freeze of northern Vermont here. But like I said, this came out looking really good. And if you've been on the channel before, you know I like to admire my work. So we're gonna gawk at this for a minute. We're gonna take a couple of glamour shots here, and then we're gonna chow down. say that was by far the best fish that I've cooked on the channel to date. Crappie calamari, I'm gonna give that a 10 out of 10. Because I honestly don't think I could have made it any better than that. I was shocked more than anything about how much it tasted like actual calamari. Like if you're at a restaurant and you ordered calamari off the menu, it was almost identical. Like I couldn't believe how similar crappie and squid taste. But it came out phenomenal. It was perfectly cooked, golden brown, flaky, and I really enjoyed it. Sometimes with these catch and cooks, I'll make something that's kind of intentionally bad or for shock value, and this was not one of those circumstances. And I can guarantee you, the next time I get into a pile of crappies, I'm going to be making this exact same recipe. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, and you want to make sure that you don't miss another upload for the rest of the ice fishing season, which is, like I mentioned yesterday, it's coming down to the wire. Please make sure that you are subscribed to Woods North. It is completely free, and it's just a great way to make sure that you don't miss an upload here on YouTube. But right now, I'm actually on my way back into the restaurant. Now I just have to go to work, no cameras involved. And I'm a little groggy, because as I normally do in these videos, we were up a little too late working on it last night. But that's all right, I can't wait to do it all over again the next time. But until then, people, as always, be good. My name's Larry. This is Woods North, signing off. Peace.